Focus banner.
Or more like the MaNa players. How are your MaNas? Alright. Are they ready? History. Let's just go. Alright, so trying this again, guys, on merry-go-round. Oh, youtube.com/giveaway.c2. See you guys in a sec. Welcome back to the finals of the tournament. Who is the best European? We find that out now in this best of 7 grand finals. $2,500 ready and waiting for first place. $1,000 for second. Neither of these guys to walk away empty-handed, but one, of course, walks away a little bit happier with a couple of extra bucks in his pockets. That's putting it lightly. I'm Rifkin, casting most of today with Zombie. Of course, big shout out and nod goes to Namshar. Joined in, filled in while she was gone, but this is game number 5, tied up now 2-2, spawning here in the lower central portion of the map. 2 games away from a lot of cash. It's going to be XMG's Lilbow.
He never writes as the blue Protoss. It's liquid MaNa.
I think you mean HyperX liquid MaNa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Big attention.
Silly sponsor.
80 call
tag.
EG.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, this is a bit of a fickle matchup. We're seeing a lot of Stargate usage, but I don't know, man. The basics of PvP seem to just be like, let's not do the classic late game. I'm not sure if maybe they're not comfortable with it. Maybe they don't love it. I don't know what the choice to actively not go for it is, but I think right now, I don't know. It's hard to call. 2-2. Like, I would never have imagined these guys to be so evenly matched. I was kind of talking with someone else before we got into this. I was like, yeah, it'll probably be a 4-0. I'm not saying who I was calling it for, but I was like, it'll probably be a 4-0.
Wow. Bold prediction. I think just not going to the late game just has to do with, like, I don't know. It used to never go to the late game in Wings of Liberty. In Heart of the Storm, you could say that there was a lot more later stage games, just in general, really, because honestly, because of Swarm host, right? The amount of games past 40 minutes has probably increased triple-fold, but you know, I do recall a lot of games in the early with like Mass Tempest and Mass Colossus. But now it's back to a point where it's just like the best players who are the most evenly matched would only get to the, you know, it's all about actually fending off whatever aggression they hit. So it actually makes the PvP more exciting. If Lilbow takes a certain amount of damage last game and MaNa backs off and the game continues, that's the most exciting type of game that you can have.
Well, the scout for Lilbow is good. It's kind of funny watching the evolution of Lilbow. First game of the series, loses, doesn't scout, scouts every game afterwards. And in PvP, I mean, scouting is always free information for the longest time anyways. But ducks in, ducks out right away. Guess he saw what he needed to. The other comment coming down in base is kind of key to see that.
PvP's so obnoxious because the probe stays in base forever.
Yeah, you just can't clear it up, right?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Gonna zealot? I know. So I just wait till the Militia Corps to come. We have. Wait a minute. This is reversed. Okay, their colors are reversed and their builders are reversed from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not last game, but the game before.
We gotta make them stick to a color here, but definitely something I've been getting sort of head confused with at this point. But the Stargate for MaNa, and Twilight Counselor for Lilbow.
So reverse of the first game I came back into, which is game number 3. I wonder. Oh no, okay, it's not gonna be Blink for Lilbow. It's gonna be Dark Shrine. So almost completely reversed. But now we're gonna have something.
What if it's Dark Shrine if we go for the Robo with the Dark Shrine? Go for the shuttle, the Warp Prism.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, he tried it earlier, is the reason I bring it up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, MaNa, but besides getting a Stargate, which obviously can build an Oracle, he's also getting a Robo. So the lack of detection is not really going to do anything. It's all about will he have detection just readily available. I think with the Phoenix flying around, because the Phoenix can fly around. One Stalker, not going to cut it. Are they really going to pop an overcharge on one Phoenix? Probably not. It can get good scouting, and I'm surprised MaNa's not going in. I guess because he sees the Nexus, he's like, I know everything I gotta know.
Well, it is the Robo follow-up. Whether it's going to be a War Prism or not, we'll have to wait to see. He can easily warp some DTs just from his proxy pylon, though, and this is what I was talking about earlier. You watch this ramp like a hawk, guys. 6 to 7 minutes. You zoom in, you hold the sentry, and you have the finger over the F button, ready to go to that force field.
Can you imagine being zoomed in all the time and playing like that?
Actually, that'd be horrible. That'd be like playing first person.
Yeah, first person StarCraft. Which someone has a mod for that, just in case you really wanted.
I tried playing first person WoW one time. Oh, that got obnoxious so quickly.
Oh, is he paying attention? Nope.
Nope,
yeah.
he is.
Oh!
Nailed it. Wrecked zombie grub. 7 minutes. Oh, that timing could have been more clutch, though. Oh, over here, something dies. Looks like a probe lifted up by the Phoenix, but with an observer out, he no longer secured the DT. Well played.
Yeah. Hey, you might be getting that long game you wanted. I mean, both players got away with an early expand.
You know what's kind of nice, too, is even though MaNa's gone for Phoenix is here, Archons cannot be Graviton beamed, so using DTs for that might not be too awful of an idea.
Plus, the natural follow-up would be getting Blink. Blink Stalkers. Obviously pretty good at hunting down Phoenix.
Blink is just so... I don't feel like if you don't open directly with Blink, it almost feels like a waste of an upgrade, because they're so... It times out so badly with the late game. It's probably the fastest expiring upgrade in this matchup.
Sometimes it can be very effective. Like usually after they get a certain number of mortals and a Colossus, yeah, everyone agrees that you start throwing away your Stalkers because they're useless. But sometimes they can be surprisingly useful. These Phoenixes, they're gonna get blinked. Yeah, well, actually, Blink isn't done, so never mind. They just get a couple of free probe kills and leave. Thing is that Lilbow can do. Blink is so like useful, right? It's not going to be the best in a straight up engagement, but they can run around, they can pick off stuff, they can have that map presence that MaNa just won't have.
Yeah, you only need 4 to like one shot a probe too. So like blink, hit, run tactics. I mean, the problem is though they do not pair well with tier 3. Is what it comes down to. So like when the Colossus are out, mortals. I mean, Stalkers are probably the worst thing. Zealots actually regain a lot of strength the later the game goes, especially once charge comes into effect. But yeah, for now, Blink to deal with the Phoenix is not too bad of a choice. Feedback's not too bad of an option either, but that's almost gets one of the Phoenix. Does snipe off one of the Phoenix. Nicely handled. Well done.
So far, 10 probes been killed by MaNa. That's pretty good for the Phoenixes. Of course, you know, getting other tech behind it as well. Lilbow still staying up in the same probe count, 37 to 38. Army supply incredibly even. Upgrades also incredibly even. I guess both players are probably going to go into Charged Archon again. Or just talk about, like, you know, all this, like, you know, why wouldn't you go Colossus? But I'm actually, like, some people just really, like, they always show Charged Archon, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a staple build for some. But you know, the thing too is, I talk about like why not just go Colossus as if it were so easy. It's really not, because the scary thing is like making that transition and then you get hit by the Charged Archon, right? So
yeah,
once you have the Colossus out, you're good, but getting to it is really scary. So both players playing it safe, and well, it might not be Charged Archon. It's the potential for both.
Yeah, I think that Templar Archive's going down for MaNa. It definitely is.
Well, yeah, Archon's gonna be a part of your composition at some point, anyways. I mean,
yes,
it's that whole layering to the Protoss army.
Yeah, making it as, you know, freaking unbeatable as possible. MaNa or Lilbow, oh man, you know, their names are right there, and they're not even that similar names, but the colors completely throw me off. Lilbow has not gotten a Templar Archives yet. Even though he has a Dark Shrine, we just see people usually throw down the Templar Archives anyways to make those Archons. Oh, it's a much faster third.
DT creeping around.
Poor DT, so useless.
He's lurking, bro. He's lurking.
Oh, he's kind of useless. Like, his only job right now is to poke in and see, like, hey, do you have Archons yet? Alright, no, bye. I guess we'll be able to kill a probe if MaNa does take a third. Last game we saw, MaNa was the one that was, you know, the aggressor. He did a bunch of gateways, and he did not actually take that third base. He went for the aggressive move that did not, you know, end up panning out. I wonder if that would be the same case here. He starts +2, though, and I mean, why would you attack before that's done?
Yeah,
He
weapon
knows.
upgrades always time out a little bit odd in PvP.
He, and he knows that Lilbow took a third. He has an observer right there. He's gonna figure like either throwing your third right now, but like or attack. Okay, the choice is to attack. He also is getting a warp prism, so either to be a reinforcement point or to pick up some zealots and try and attack from behind, which is usually more effective against Colossus, or just straight up go into the main and harass. You know, if the main army doesn't win, at least you have a lot of harass down in the probe line.
Well, let's not forget about sick option like C here, where of course you do like that wicked crank style pick up drop warp prism micro.
Yeah,
With the
maybe.
Immortals. I mean, you remember that for the Ace 2 Teams 3 Cup? That was like insanity watching that. It was so fun.
I do. Well, Craig has cool PvP ideas.
Yeah, I really like Crank, but he's not here. Lilbow gonna overcharge the Nexus, and well, with the Archons here, you can't even really force so much. These are all gonna have to just be Guardian Shields, but it's kind of that point where like, well, we'll get a Guardian Shields. They don't really overlap that much. You got to get that that hallucination count going, man.
MaNa, a little bit of an army supply lead. Some of that is in those Phoenixes, though, and I don't think they're really going to be that useful. Does go in for the fight. I think it's just going to be a repeat of last game.
Time War's going down. The Guardian Shield's going strong for both, but those Phoenix with the Graviton Beams doing what they can, but MaNa, I don't know. There's so many Zealots here for Lilbow, but this happened last time for MaNa, right? But yeah, he gets beaten into submission with this.
Yeah, attacking apparently not actually what is going to win MaNa this series. It seemed like a good idea right there, right? Because, you know, your opponent got a third. They quote unquote wasted 400 minerals, so maybe, you know, I should have the bigger army. But then he doesn't just like lose barely. He gets kind of crushed.
Yeah, that's about what happened here. MaNa does have like, he was trying to go for like some extra stuff here warped in on the side, but even then, that gets cleaned up. Well, this looks like it's probably going to be game. There's a lot of Zealots warped in here to the natural, but with so many Archons still standing, the splash damage, the bonus versus light, I mean, these Zealots are just going to get wrecked.
Yeah, MaNa, no, yeah, Lilbow charging in here.
Sorry, not light.
Yeah, GG. Well played.